Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, November 27th, and today is Thanksgiving. And as you can hear, there's going to be some interruptions here. So today is also coverage of RODY, so we will go through where we stand. I'll say in the week, even though we only have a half day left. But yeah, let's get to it.
I want color.
Well, then you gotta go upstairs.
No, there. No. I want.
All right, so where are we? Take that. Bitcoin is sitting at 91,000. All right, this is a mistake. There you go.
It can't pull on. See?
Sit back. All right, Bitcoin's at what, 91? So that's good. Obviously, it's been on the up and up. And
Where's
all right, so for yesterday, over the 24 hours, obviously we're what, at 86, jumped up to what was the highest we hit? 91.8. Now we're at 91.6, so we're looking pretty good. So maybe Friday morning we'll open up nice and green. At least maybe MSTR will. I don't know. On all those damn MSTR funds, we shall see. All right, time to cover RODY the best we can with disruptions. Let's do this. All right, I'm not going to go through the rules, samples, definitions, this and that, but I will look at the VIX.
Daddy,
The VIX did go
the
down.
doggy look.
Not yet. The VIX.
Where's the doggy? Keep them.
The VIX did go down under 20, and if you look under here, that category. If you want to stay in here, you have to be quiet, okay?
I want to know the doggy.
Okay. All right. Below 20, market sentiment shows calm, low, volatility. Markets are stable. Risk is perceived as low. So, yeah, man, this is the time to buy, right? Right? I don't know. I don't use the VIX. I'm trying to, right? So this is the calm time. This is it. This is the low volatility. So I guess if you're a buyer of options, that's the premium should be less. So for me, maybe starting a position for the RODY fund would be a good idea. I don't know. But you always wonder where I'm located. Normally I'm in the locked office, but he refused. He wanted to join today, and I don't even know why I let him in, but we'll just play it by ear. If we have to cancel it, we cancel it. All right, Watchlist. Nothing new here. I did adjust the percentages from the low, the percentages from the high. This is just a little better way to look at it. So, and it'll show you that pretty much every single one that I'm trading or want to trade is near a high. So obviously that's not helping things. And then that doesn't tell me that there's a deal necessarily, but yeah, it is what it is. I have the Qs. I want to add the Qs. I want to add SPY, and then I added GLD. I don't know. I got to think about that, but yeah, we'll see. Also, funny note here. Open, you'll see. Open is a pain in the ass, to be honest. It's got these, what do you call it? Not the dividends. I forget what they call it, but they did like a dividend breakup. They paid OpenZ, OpenL, OpenW, right, as part of a distribution, maybe a way to mess up the shorts. And, they did that, but it also becomes a nightmare to us trading options. So when I went to Last week it worked. Last week I had no issue trading options on them. This week it said rejected. I tried like 3 times, said rejected. I said I have to place the call for non-standard options through the broker. All right. What's a non-standard option? Well, it's the one with, you know, it either shows open one. Like if you own, I guess, a call and open before the dividends, again, I can't think of the name, but got issued, then you have to use that same option chain. So that's what I'm doing. I have to use the option chain. At least on Thinkorswim, it says open W, open L, open Z. But if you look like on the Schwab website, it just shows like open one. All right. So I can't place the order through my phone. I can't place the order through the desktop app. I can't place the order through the website. I have to call. So I called the broker, told them what I wanted, 6 contracts. You know, good thing I did six, you know, the same one. I told them, I gave them a limit order. First, I said 0.4 didn't go through. I said, you know what? I'm not calling back. So just do 0.33. We'll call it a day. It went through. Boom. So yeah, this is some old school stuff here. We're calling brokers. We're making trades. We're doing what we got to do. To be honest, this is how it has to be done. As long as I'm in that call. Right? Because the call is locked in to, you know, again, that non-standard option. So it's either I close out the open trade in general, restart it, or I just call every week. They said I could do it through the chat, but I don't know, man. I just thought it was funny calling them. I'm just like, really? But to be honest, I asked him about it. He's like, it's for people's protection. Because a lot of people don't know that they're making, you know, an option trade on a non-standard contract versus a standard. So I guess that makes sense. Because honestly, I was confused too when I saw both. Some of the chain says just open, and the other chain says open with all these dividends, preferreds, whatever we're calling it. But yeah, man, crazy. All right, let's get to it. So open synthetic. Nothing new there. Again, we got 6 synthetic contracts, $8 strike. So all good there. Open's been actually rising up. So what did we do? We closed. Here's what I did, actually. This wasn't on purpose, but I did a buy to close. I didn't even roll because it wouldn't let me anyway. So I just did a buy to close. I closed them out. I kept the majority of the profit on 2 of them, but one of them was only 12%. The paper has dropped. We must get the paper. Here we go. All right, back to business. So yeah, the close premium, obviously I paid a little more than I wanted to on this. And then once I closed them, what I did is I tried to do a new trade, 6 contracts, and you saw the error. So I called, I made the trade. I ended up just selling calls, all 6 contracts. I was doing 222, but I decided to do all 8 together. It paid me what? 33 cents per share, and that's $33 each times 6. That's $198 for that trade, and that's an annualized yield of 178%. So hey, we'll take it, right? We'll take it. All right. So again, I got a note here. Here you go. Must sell open one contracts or there you go. Warrants. That's the word. That list warrants, which is what matches my long calls. All right. So if you're like me and you're in this open trade, that's just something to keep in mind. Okay. For the week, where the heck is the week? $198 is how much I made on open. You can see that, you know, that's using 24. Is this even adding it up right? 2,400. 2,400. I don't think that. Let me just double check. Okay. So yeah, I did add it all together. Is it no synthetic? Yeah, synthetic plus. Okay, yeah, 2,400. All right, sorry. So yeah, so using essentially $2,400 or risking $2,400, $198 income is an ROI of 8.25% for the week, and for the if you annualize that, sucker, that's 429%. You want to say that? You want to say sucker? All right. So let's move on. So open holdings. All right. That's good for now. Open hold. You can see opens at 778. So it's approaching the $8, which is good, right? I'd be happy if it just floats around 8. That's all good. So you can see my current synthetic is worth 705. I paid 1,200 for this. Again, this is for the total synthetic purchase, the synthetic combo plus the put, the long put, right? We call it the synthetic collar, as you will. But anyway, it's worth about 705. So if I cashed out today, I would be down about 495 in total. All right. Moving on to SoFi. What are you opening now? Don't make a mess, right? SoFi has what, 5 contracts on the synthetic, nothing new there. We did not add to it. So, but we did have some 12.5s that were there previously opened. Oh yeah, I do want to close out because if I don't do it now, I forget. So I want to gray these out. And then hide it. Okay, let's go to the calls. All right. Oh, wait, we got some questions here. Let's do them because what the hell? I mean, this video is going to be a craziness. What does a warrant mean on a stock besides getting the dividend from it? No, they don't call it I guess they call it a warrant, not a dividend. So, you know, the Open-L, the Open-Z, whatever the hell they are, it's basically like a stock issuance. It's in your brokerage, right? If you owned Open by that time, I only actually owned 200 shares from the wheel still, and it gave me like 6 shares of each. I'm not going to sell them yet because I'm kind of locked in. I have covered calls that have them attached to it essentially. But for the ones that, you know, I did sell just a regular open call, standard, and it won't take my preferreds away. So again, it's a little complicated, but it's annoying, to be honest. It's just annoying. All right, so 50 has a really quick. I use Robinhood as my platform. Recently, there was 1 share of 3 open tickers. I didn't buy them. They just showed up. Anyone else see that? There was 1 share of 3. Yeah. So for every 30 shares of open that you own, you'll get 1 share each of the open, where is it? Open Z, Open L, and Open W. So you'll see 1 share of each on those. So, you know, again, if you're wheeling it, it's different. Since I'm doing like a poor man's covered call, my long call is locked in to this, you know, so I can only sell calls on the non-standard contract. If you own the open shares outright, you have the warrants, you can either do the non-standard or the standard. The difference being, if you do the standard, they'll only take your open shares when you get assigned. If you do the non-standard, they're going to take your warrants and your open shares when you get assigned. So obviously the non-standard contracts, they will pay more than the standard contracts. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully it does. But yeah, that's why. So if you have any pending covered calls on a non-standard contract, 50, you can't be selling the warrants. You got to keep them in there because you already committed to that. All right. I did confirm that on the phone too yesterday. I was on the chat with them and the phone yesterday. So I got all the info. I'm comfortable about the whole thing. All right, let's go. Let's see. All right. Yes, happy Thanksgiving. Okay, for those of you that are late, I do have a visitor, so there may be some noises, but hey, whatever, right? It's a holiday. What do you want? What do you want from me? All right, anyway, SoFi, I have the 12.5s. Those are already there. We opened them on the 21st. There's a 29 and 28. And, you know, they're close. We'll see. But, again, they expire next week. And then I had 2 11/28s. I did close one of them. I mean, I rolled them. Sorry. The 27, I rolled because it was the extrinsic that was left, because now this is what I'm doing. I'm waiting till the extrinsic goes under 0.1, and then I'll roll it. And it was under 0.1. So I rolled this one, and I've rolled it to next week. And I chose the same strike. I was going to, again, I thought about rolling it up. I'm like, you know what? As a defensive measure, if the stock goes down, this is like in my favor, right? Because this is going to kind of protect me in a way because it's in the money. So I just rolled it at the 27 for next week. It paid me, what did it pay me? Where's the premium? $38, annualized 53%, pretty good. Now the other one, where is it at? The 28, the extrinsic was not under 0.1, so I left it. And I'm going to roll it on the Friday. Friday's a half day, so obviously I have limited time. I have to make sure I do that. You can see the current price of SoFi is $28.49, above the 28, so I do not want it to get assigned. So obviously I will be rolling it, and I'll probably roll it to the 28. Actually, I may roll it to the following week because I've been kind of doing that because I have a 27, a 29. Oh, I got two 29s now for 12.5. So, hey, whatever. Again, it is what it is. Open kind of screwed me up, to be honest. It's just a lot for one to deal with on one freaking ticker. All right, so income on SoFi. What did I make this week? $175 for risk, and I risked 4,304. That's a 4% ROI, 211% annualized. So not bad there. SoFi Holdings, again, this is just a synthetic. I should probably just call this, I don't even know. But this is just the as-at synthetic value, right? Versus what we originally paid. We paid about $2,200. It's currently worth about $2,100. So if we sold out, again, just the synthetic, not the call income, we got about $98.50 loss. So all good there. All right, let me catch up on some comments here. What do we got? What do you do? What do you say? Serenity now. Serenity now. All right, let's see. Rod got the secret sauce now with the Wednesday call. Yes, little Rod. Yep, the little one. If it was the older one, he would actually kind of be quiet. But maybe. I don't know. Yes, he is coloring. I don't know what he's coloring. I don't even know what he's doing something. But he's being quiet, so I'll leave him be for now. Let's see. I bought open back when it was under 2, and I sold here and there over 6, 7, and 8. Nice. I wish I bought it too. But yeah, man. All right. So continuing on, let's take a look at E.l.f. E.l.f. on the shelf. I still have the long call, and I still have the other 3 on the synthetic 75. And we'll take a look at what I'm selling calls on. So I have the 75. Again, I did open I have 2 positions on E.l.f. I'm keeping them separate, basically. I have the 125, which I got burnt on, right? I got assigned on the put. And then I used the buy put to protect me. And then I essentially opened a new position of 75 because I feel like it was oversold. So this is essentially what I'm selling calls on. I did not roll this because since it was so close to the money, the extrinsic was very high. So I will wait until Friday, probably midday. Again, the market closes at 1 on Friday. So I'll wait till probably maybe 10, 11, and I'll roll this probably at a 75 into next week. But remember, I have that long call, the 125. I'm still using it. I decided to use it because E.l.f. did jump up in price. And I sold a call at 85. It 12% out of the money, delta 0.07. So I'm thinking it'll be safe. So I got $22 for the risk. Now, is that risk worth it? Some would say no. Some would say, what the hell? Why not? But again, no, you can't say that. And then, so 12 is E.l.f. going to jump 12% in a week and a half, a week plus a half day? I don't think so. So, or it probably will now, but we'll see. Anyway, income for the week on E.l.f., a whopping $22, but Of course, it'll you know, we'll have another roll, so we'll make an additional amount on the roll. So we're not done for the week. And then we look at the synthetic position. Again, you could see the long call.
What the hell?
Stop. It's not worth anything. All right, so you got to sit in color. If you're gonna be this close, you got to chill. This is for entertainment purposes, right? So what do we got? The call is worth $13. So again, I'm leaving it open so I can sell calls on it. If I cashed it out, I would make $13. You know, that's not worth it to me. So obviously, I just made 22, but I'm risking. It is a risk. So, all right. Anyway, let's look at the other open position. It's a 75, and it's worth. Again, E.l.f. is at what, 75.23. I paid what, 21.44. It's worth 7.73. So I am down if I sell. But of course, you know, don't forget, I'm still leaving this here. I probably shouldn't, but that's the expense of the long call. So that's why the numbers are pushing me down. This actually should be worth more. Stop. Don't hit buttons. All right. So let's go to Robinhood. Robinhood has been a disaster lately. As you know, I have two positions on the synthetic. And let's see, a 145 and a 141. And if we look at the calls, let's see what we did here. Yeah, we have the 135. Oh, wait, I wanted to hide. Keep forgetting. I know it. Yeah, so I'm going to do this. SoFi grayed out.
Might just come test this.
Yeah, that's all you can do. E.l.f. What are we doing?
What's
We're
this
going to do anything there.
one doing? My test button too.
And then Hood. Okay, so Hood, what are we
I'll
doing?
favorite you.
All right, so what are we doing?
What are you doing?
Rolling order.
Daddy, I can't turn on.
So I had the 135.
Daddy, I can't
And I actually rolled this up.
You help me turn this on.
No, you can't. It's broken.
It's tossed
You
him.
can color if you want to stay here. That's it.
It's died.
Yeah, it's dead.
It's dead.
So again, I had a 135. It was expiring Friday. It was 5.3% out of the money. I rolled it. Wait, no, it was, yeah, it was 5%. What was it at? Where's Robinhood's price? 128. So I decided to roll it because it's getting really close. It would, 5.3% out of the money, and I'm going to roll it out a week. I'm not going to keep the same strike. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inch it out. I'm going to bump it up $2. Stop hitting the buttons. And luckily there's another computer here from the break, but all right, now you're going to lock me out there, so you can't hit any more buttons. So we moved it up to a 137, and that's, well, it was 9.6% out of the money. Now it's 6.86% out of the money. So it is not, well, is it safe? I don't know. Again, Robinhood jumped up a ridiculous amount in one day. So, we'll see how it goes. It was good for the synthetic, but the calls, I got to be honest, this 130, I'm kind of worried because this 130 expires next Friday. So Robinhood can blow right through that. And if it does, I'll just have to play the roll-up game because I don't want to be assigned at a strike. All right, no more. What? All right, so, all right, now we have it all on the video. But, all right, so where are we? He's not happy I closed the computer. Let me take a pause for a second. All right, let's see if we can finish this video or cut it short. Can you guys hear me? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Oh man, I tried to keep him in the room, but you know, All right, so where are we at? We got the 130 is in danger for next week, but again, Robinhood jumped. I think it was like 10% in one day, but yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that. For the week, I did make about 170. But again, that's it. That's going to be it because I already rolled. These both now expire next week. So it's like a sit and wait now. So we'll gray this sucker out and we'll hide it. We also do have the the hood side piece here. You may recall it was just a way to capture more income as we were selling safe, secure calls with little premium. We decided to sell a put, buy a put, essentially a credit put spread, as they say in the options land. And that did bring me 110, but that was for last week. I did not do another side piece. So this one, it does expire 12/19 though. So it's still open and it's still, important. As far as the synthetic, we're still kind of underwater because we did pay, 3,342. The synthetic's worth 557.50. So if we cash that out, yeah, we'd be down. But obviously, it's not about that. It's about the covered calls. We want to make money on the synthetic, but it's possible we may not. But again, these expire in May, so we have time. We have plenty of time. So I ain't scared. All right, let's go to Palantir. Now that we have somewhat peace in here, we'll see how this goes. We got Palantir. We got 2 synthetic positions. We did not add to that. As far as covered calls, I did roll. Where is this? The 175. I've rolled it up because it was what, 5% out of the money. I rolled it up to the 180. 185 wouldn't have paid enough. So I rolled it up to the 180. Now I have 2 contracts at the 180. And for this week, yesterday's trade paid me $84. So that's not bad. Let me gray this out before I forget, and then we can move on. Remember when little Roddy was in the older videos, he actually behaved the whole video. But this is the first time I think I went live with him. But hey, he almost made it. But let's see. What do we make this week on Palantir? 207. Again, not fantastic numbers. You could see we're using a lot of money. We're risking a lot of money. But even, making 207, that's 1.9% ROI per week and almost 100% annualized. So that's not bad. Palantir Holdings, let's see. We paid what out of pocket? About $3,276. Synthetic ain't worth crap, really. It's worth 175 on standalone. But again, this has till May. It expires in May. We'll see how it goes. Again, remember, look, Palantir was like nearing $200 at one point. So I thought the 190 was a good spot. Then I averaged down to 180, and then here we are. It's at 165. So, hey, who would have thought, man? Who would have thought? But again, regardless of that, we're still going to make money in the process. All right. IWM, by far my best position at the moment. But before we get into that, let me just catch up on some comments because I know you guys had some entertainment there. Yes, hashtag what the hell, right? So let's see. Little Rod made my day. All right. At least it made someone's day, right? Xbox. Oh, man. Yeah, hit the button. He was, I don't even know what happened. Probably logged out in the other computer. Oh, man. I don't know if I'm going to survive. Loud and clear. Thank you. Let's see. Bring back Little Rod. Yeah, my wife would probably prefer that. Because he's probably giving her a hard time right now because he wants to come down. All right, so let's continue. All right. So the IWM synthetic, again, we only have one. We started it at a 235. And this one, I decided to go out 1 year. In fact, a little more than 1 year, December of next year. So I really feel good about this position. I did sell a call at the same strike of the synthetic, which is 235. However, IWM is doing better. It's of all the indexes, it's whooping ass. Like it's destroying. Good thing he's not here to repeat that, but you know, it's in the money, about 5% in the money, right? And what did I had to roll it because if I let this go till Friday's a half day, this probably would have got assigned early assignment. We don't want that. So what I did is I rolled it up in strike price. But keep in mind when you're 5% in the money, you can't just be rolling up in strike price unless you want to pay a pretty penny. So in order for me to roll it up at all in strike price, I chose $2. I had to pick a date 1 month out. So I chose an expiration date of December 26th. Merry Christmas, baby. So since I was able to, since I went 1 month out and I bumped it up $2, I was still able to capture. Yes, I still got a premium. I didn't have to pay. I got a premium of $35. Because keep in mind, every inch up, this 247, my synthetic is making money. My synthetic is making some bank. But the covered call, again, it's going to cost money to close. So as somewhat of a defensive play, instead of rolling it up to this price here, taking the hit, I'm going to roll it up a little and let it eventually catch up with the actual price. And this is also kind of a defensive play, if you think about it, because it's in the money. And that way, if IWM drops back down, I'm protected because, again, this position will be fine. In fact, I wouldn't mind if it dropped down to 237 by 1226. And it's funny that I say that now after all the mishmash, but ideally, not really the 230, maybe 240. It just makes it a little easier. But if not, if it's still at the price it is or it's moving up, what I'll do as we get closer to 1226 is I'll roll it up again, probably another $1, $2 at a time, 1 month out, and then, just go from there. And then obviously in the end, hopefully between the call credits and the synthetic, we'll be making a lot of money. So that's the idea. I know I didn't probably explain that well enough. I had big plans of explaining this pretty good, but my head is can't even think anymore, honestly, after the chaos this morning. We'll just say the house has been up for a long time. All right, IWM synthetic, it's doing well, as you could imagine. Again, I paid about $1,294. Currently, if I sold the synthetic, I would make $2,373. So I have an unrealized profit of $1,079. So IWM, like I said, by far my best position. Now you can see I want the Qs. I added the tabs, right? So I'm ready. But I have to delete all this because it's not accurate. But I'm just getting ready to add it, when the time comes. So I'm probably, if the Qs drop on Friday, I'm going to add it. If it doesn't, I'm going to wait. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Anyway, weekly income. This is updated. Yeah, this I checked. It's 807. Again, so far I'm risking about 34,000 in total. But again, this number is going to go up. This number is not really going to change unless I add the Qs. Then obviously I would be using more capital. But anyway, based on what I have now, that's a 2.33% return on a weekly basis. And if I annualize that sucker, that's 121% annualized. All right. Monthly income, obviously, I'll update that at the end of the month. RODY as that. That's, there's nothing to report there. Now here, I didn't even look at. I assume this is updated. But Open is actually a profit now. So if you think about it, look at Open. This is the synthetic collar. We paid $1,200 out of pocket. We made now $1,325 on covered calls. So we flipped this sucker green. So we're in a profit now for Open. However, don't forget, there's still risk in the downside, right? And that's another 1,200. That's the difference between the strike prices on the puts times 100 shares times number of contracts. So that's So my total at risk, I still have 1,075, even with, you know, all that cover call premium. So the next challenge is now to flip this screen, and then we could say house money, right? House money, baby. SoFi, how we doing? Well, it's almost flipped green on the profit loss side, 635. E.l.f. far away, Hood far away, Palantir far away. IWM not bad, 732. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. Now, exposure wise, again, based on the total at risk, you could see my biggest position is Palantir, second Hood, and then third is IWM. But again, I want to make my portfolio more so index based with a little splash of individual underlyings. So this will happen. Yeah, I mean, this will happen in due time. So I don't know. Again, right now I'm heavy on the individuals, but you know, we'll see how that goes. And then of course we have the as at values. So this 705, what does this represent? It represents, where is it? Oh, the synthetic, the current synthetic value. If I close it all out today, it'd be worth 705. So if I net that, again, this is against what I paid, I'd be down 495. However, if I add the call premium, I'm actually up 69% ROI. SoFi, I'm up 66% ROI. E.l.f, I'm down 39%. Hood, I'm down 12%. Palantir, I'm down 63%. And IWM, I am up 126%. So not that bad, not that bad at all. So again, I think it's we're doing all right here. I don't know why this only pulls up to there. We'll fix that. And let's drop this down. And then this divided by what? That? I think so. All right. Wait, why did that not? What the hell? B16. F18. What the hell? Synthetic value. Why is it? Should just do sum. Let's do that. Okay. All right. That's more like it. So overall, with all the positions, we're up 0.11%. I mean, I know that doesn't sound great, but again, you have to keep in mind when we started RODY, the market, that's when the market started its little correction there. So yeah, I'm happy where we're at, and I think, you know, we have a bright future ahead of us with this bunch of degenerates. So, you know, I'm excited about it. Any questions, let me know. Before we get to the wheel, let me go through some comments if you guys have any. I know I apologize for the chaotic video, but it is what it is, man. All right, we got a question. Why don't you roll SoFi for a month? They pay much better. Well, again, if I can roll weekly and you know, make good money, then I'm going to do that, because again, if I roll 4 weeks individually versus rolling out a month, I mean, obviously, yeah, a month will pay better than 1 week, but if you add up the weeks, that should pay better than the month, if that makes sense. So yeah, ideally I want to do weeks every week, but if I have to roll out a month in case I get in trouble, that's when I would. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's go to the wheel strategy, which again, we're closing out shop on the wheel strategy. So let's see what we did this week. TSLL. I closed out some puts. Again, TSLL was going up, so I paid 7 cents, 2 cents, bought a close. Let's gray these two out. Gray. We got to hide them. So these two, again, we're slowly dwindling out of the wheel so we can focus on the RODY. This covered call Oh yeah, I rolled this down. I think I did this the other day though, right? I rolled this 20 down to 16, so it gets assigned. I had to choose a, I moved it with the rest of the 12/12. That's the latest date, but I did collect $200 in the process, so that wasn't bad. So again, rolling order on that, rolling the covered call strike price down because I want it to get assigned, because I want all my cash, all my money, all the account focus to be on the RODY fund. Okay. So let's see here. Then I did a buy to close here, a little more expensive, but again, I'm just closing out the positions where I can, without burning myself too much. But again, I'm not saying you shouldn't wheel TSLL. You should definitely, if you're doing the wheel, this is the best stock. In fact, I want to add Tesla to the RODY. I do, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Let me finish adding the indexes, and then we'll go from there. So outside of that, this is what we're left with. We have now what? We have a call. We have 2 covered calls expiring tomorrow, 16 and 17, both in the money. Both should be getting assigned, and I'm good with that. And then we have 2 puts expiring the next Friday, 16, 15, both out of the money. If they're worth it, I'll close them early. And then we have a put and a call for 12/12, and we'll see how that goes. And then we'll be done. We'll be done with TSLL from the wheel. And again, you can see I just made the $200 for the week. TNA, I just have the 1 call. It expires 12/12, $40 strike. It is 13% in the money, more than likely going to get assigned. And then open, I have 2 $6 puts, both expiring tomorrow, both way in the money, 22% in the money. So both should be assigned. The only difference between these 2 trades is I sold one under the standard contract and one under the non-standard. So the standard contract is the one that just says open and looks normal. The non-standard is the one that lists all those warrants. So what happened is, since I own 200 shares, I got all the warrants for those 200 shares. I didn't touch them. I didn't sell them, but I'm keeping them just to make sure that it works how I'm thinking, because when the 1 call, the non-standard, gets assigned, I'm expecting 100 shares plus 3. Is it 3? Yeah, I think 3 shares of each warrant to be taken away. All right, if that makes sense, or however many each share, each or whatever. You get what I'm saying. But and then when the other call gets assigned, I'm expecting only the 100 shares of open get assigned, and that way I'm left with whatever warrants left. And then I'll just sell them and then say bye-bye. All right. Does that make sense, or did I confuse the hell out of everyone? I have leaps left over on open because, again, when I first heard about open, I'm like, oh, man, this thing's going to the moon. Let's go, baby. Plus, I never did a leap. Sure enough, it's tanked since then. And these are probably the January. It's probably useless. But, hey, it was for educational purposes, of course. All right, what are we left with? Weekly income. How much did I make this week? Is that even on here? Well, what are we at? We're at November 28th. I made $350 so far this week. TNA open. Okay, that's good actually. But again, we don't care. We're closing out the wheel. We're moving on with our lives, and we're gonna learn a lot more on the RODY side for sure. So I know that was a handful. I know that was a lot, and I know there's a lot of disruptions. So I'll just take some Q&A, throw some, Q&A, and then go upstairs and get back into the chaos. Don't forget, we also got a dog. So yeah, there's that. All right, had to drop for a little while, but it seemed like I missed a little rod action. Yeah, he was hitting buttons on the other computer, and he did not like that, so he had a little meltdown, little mini meltdown. Let's see. Yeah, and then there's that. He's a repeater now, so that's great. All right. Check grab for your calls. Grab. I'm staying away from the individuals for now. I'm gonna add the indexes. Based on the strategy. Because look, man, if I go down here, so where is it? Exposure, right? So we're looking total at risk. I still have what, $29,000 at risk. My account's around 72,000. So what do we do? I'm trying to get out of the wheel. Once I'm out of the wheel, I'll probably have all three indexes. The Qs for Nasdaq. I already have IWM for the Russell, and then I'll have SPY for the S&P. I'm thinking about gold. Again, because they're just massive. They're essentially their own sector. And then some may say add Bitcoin, but I don't really want to. But if I do, obviously IBIT could be that, because again, if you think 1 year out, yeah, I think you'll be okay. But that would be crazy. IBIT would be crazy. But I still have 5 degenerate plays here, right? Who's degenerate? Well, Open is definitely degenerate. Some may consider Palantir degenerate. Some may consider Hood degenerate. E.l.f, freaking, who knows about E.l.f, right? But E.l.f is by far my worst performer. But SoFi, I don't know. SoFi's, again, volatile too. So maybe they're all degenerates. Maybe my whole freaking thing is degenerate. Should make a short of that. I don't know. Should I? I guess that could be funny. Maybe I need like I don't know. We'll see. Any questions? Silver, yeah, or maybe like a silver gold fund combined. Coffee tastes good. I tried to drink coffee in front of the puppy. Oh my God. Puppy did not have it. We don't even have a big turnout today, but it is Thanksgiving. We have 175 people between YouTube and X. Thank you all for being here. I think I'm going to have to end it though. And as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, I guess I'll bring Little Rod back tomorrow. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Well, we'll see. We'll see again. Who knows how people sleep tonight. What else? If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments below. Obviously, it's Thanksgiving, so hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate everyone being here on your Thanksgiving. I know it's a holiday, and I know it was a little chaotic, but we made it through somehow. It's either that or don't go live, or go live when he naps, which may be never. But we made it through, I think. It wasn't too bad. So that being said, I guess it's time for the keyword. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say the keyword. So I know what everyone wants the keyword to be, but let's see what you guys have to say. This was fun stuff, Rod. We need more Little Rod for sure. Happy Thanksgiving. No, yeah, I got no problem. But right now it's just a little harder with the dog and everything, and half the family on no sleep. But yeah, I guess that's gonna have to be the keyword, brother. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say that keyword. All right, the keyword today is what the hell? Because what the hell, right? Everyone knows why what the hell is the keyword, so no need to get into that. But again, if you want to prove you made it to the end of the video, you got to type that in, and that way I know, that way everyone knows, that way Little Rod knows you actually made it to the end of the video. And good job, you did it. Congratulations. All right, anyway, I'm out of here. Happy Thanksgiving. What the hell? And I will talk to you all later.